Greetings and welcome back, gentlemen and ladiesmen, to another exciting episode of EXO Plays Super Mario 64 DS. I'm EXO, of course. And yes, I know at least Ahbeef asked about this, but you might have noticed that the last part was a little short. And that's because usually what I do is, when I record these, especially if it's Z-Bros, like I'll kind of end at the part and then splice it in with footage from later, but I didn't have any footage recorded and I didn't have time. It's been a busy week. So instead, I decided to just end it at 15 minutes. We'll go a little longer today just to kind of compensate.
What are you doing messing up my castle? I worked hard for it. But hey, I'm a sweet guy. I'll just let it slide this time. But bring me that Mario. My little beasties have a little big surprise planned just for him.
So once again, we know that Mario cannot open those doors for some reason that I do not know. We're gonna go rescue Wario, but before we do that, there's a hidden star back here. Just go through this door right there and bingo, star. And I don't know about the rest of you guys, but as a kid, I always wanted to be able to go back behind the mirror. It always looked like there was something back there you could get, but there wasn't in the original. So the fact that they added that little thing there is, I always thought that was kind of cute. But you could see that, there's the Luigi painting there and a Wario painting beside it, similar to how there is a painting of the Snowman's Land, but just a wall on the other side. So we go to the other end of the mirror and jump on the Wario painting, and voila, we are at Chief Chili's Challenge. That is the official name for the stage. And we're actually going to be skipping out... Actually, that's right, I haven't done any of the red coin stars or anything for these levels yet. So yeah, we're actually gonna, at least right off the bat here, we're gonna be doing some backtracking now that we'll have Wario. And we're just gonna go straight for the boss this time, just like we did with the last couple. I mean, it's just kind of a straightforward little ice level. I mean, nothing too amazing about it, but these ice platforms are kind of cute, or cool rather. Almost said cute. That tells you where my headspace is right now. I got, much like Nasty Nork said in the hit video game, from 2005, Spyro Hero's Tale, I've got to get my head in the game. Gotta get your head in the game.
You there with the mustache. I am the king of cold, the Chief Chili. I lock up anyone who challenges the superiority of my stash. In fact, I locked up such a fellow just the other day. What a sad, mangy mustache you've got there. It hardly seems worth it to destroy you. With a stash like that, you're clearly the sidekick, not the star. But I'm between meetings now, so I might as well. In the battle for the best mustache, I'll win, hairs down. Bring it on, Peach Fuzz.
So this guy is just a bully. I mean, he's a bigger one, and he's tougher. I never have nearly as much luck trying to punch him. Oh, well, I guess you gotta body slam him. Okay, that's the first I've ever thought of trying that. Fun fact, I did actually play another Super Mario 3D, which is the ROM hack of this game with all new levels and stuff. And the way that they handled this boss is actually kind of interesting, where like they make it in a way so that you can only fight him as Luigi. As Yoshi rather, who can't punch, which I thought was kind of interesting. Normally, when I fight this guy with Luigi, I have a hard time. Luigi, like for all the things that Luigi breaks in half with this game, fighting bullies is like one of the worst things you can do with Luigi. He's just not meant for that. Okay, I don't know what happened just now, but. And he will actually try to fake you out and stuff. So you gotta be careful about that. And now all we have to do is punch him off, and there we go, we defeated him.
No way! I lost to such a scrawny guy like that. Did I not groom my mustache well enough? I must hurry home and condition it. Farewell.
I just thought it was kind of neat that Chief Chili has like this weird obsession with his mustache. Come to think of it, King Babam had that too. But regardless, we have finally unlocked Wario. He is now fully playable in every level in the game, and a whole bunch of caps will... Well, you gotta unlock his door first, but... You know, we basically got him. And you might be wondering, well, why are you skipping the basement? Why are you unlocking Wario now? Well, basically, there's a lot of stars we couldn't get earlier because we didn't have Wario. And I find Wario is the most useful in the basement levels of the game. That is when he's the most useful, but you know, if you're playing this game kind of normally and just sort of following the normal progression structure, you'll have already played those levels by the time you unlock him. But thankfully, because Super Mario 64 is very open-ended about when you can unlock people, you know, in terms of like, you don't have to have finished those levels to fight the second Bowser fight and whatnot. We can play as Wario right now, and he's fine. I mean, let me put it this way. He's not like the... Did I already finish off Babam Battlefield? Yes, yes. So now we're gonna have to go back to some of the levels here on this first floor to grab some stuff we couldn't get with without Wario. Wario is not bad, and like I said, like every other character in the game, he has fundamentally the same controls. He does triple jumps, he can ground pound, he can punch people, he can do long jumps, he can do side somersaults, he can do all that stuff. It's just, his jumping is not as good. Like, his jump is lower, he has less airtime. Like, even his long jump doesn't seem to go nearly as far. So as you can see, if you look under the ice there... Come on, Wario. You can see that there is a switch star down there, or a star switch orb, rather. And Wario is the only one who can smash through the ice and expose it, so... Yeah, so now with the star switch is up there, so we'll just go ahead and grab that real quick. And then we should be prepared to go nab that star. So it's kind of like... I know the closest comparison I can think of for what this is like is it's kind of like how in Super Mario Sunshine you can't get a bunch of stars or blue coins without Yoshi, who you don't unlock until Penis Park. So it kind of reminds me of that, where it's like either you can skip this level for the most part and save it for later when you have Yoshi or Wario, or you can get everything that you can without them and then just come back for the one thing you missed later. So it's kind of, I don't know. That's what makes collectathons fun, is those little trade-offs, like trying to figure out, okay, what's the fastest way to go about this? And, you know, Super Mario 64 definitely has that going for it, at least. At least in the DS version it does. It doesn't really so much have that in the original. And the only, you know, and then it keeps sending you back at the end, but, you know, regardless, you guys get the point. Alright, so since we are not dumb, we are not going to try to swim as Wario, because trust me, trying to swim as Wario will make you want to kill yourself. So do not play water levels with Wario if you can help it. And it's just one of the reasons where it's like, yeah, it's kind of nice and convenient that Wario can defeat bullies so much easier than the other characters and can fight bosses so much easier. But, you know, in terms of platforming and getting around, which is roughly 80% of this game, he's not very useful for any of that stuff. Alright, so now that we have the metal cap in Wario, because like I said, the power flowers work the same way as the caps, but do something different depending on the character, we can go get this through the slipstream star down here. So you just bring Wario to the stage, grab the power flower, and jump down to the bottom. So yeah, that's all there is to that one. That was a pretty easy star. We already wrapped that up pretty quickly. It's only been like 10 minutes, and we've already accomplished quite a bit. So next, I think what we'll do is... how do I want to go about this? There's a bunch of other stuff we can get too, so I think we'll just do side quest stuff for the time being. So you guys might remember there was another star we couldn't get because we didn't have Wario in Big Boo's Haunt, so we're gonna go ahead and return to Big Boo's Haunt. And to give that a play, it's another Switch Star puzzle. And the problem with this one is that there was another thing that only Wario can break. And I don't know, it's kind of like, I feel like the designers of Mario 64 DS did a really good job giving you reasons to play as Luigi and Yoshi that don't involve necessarily their power-ups and whatnot. Whereas with Wario, it feels like most of the time when something requires him, it's like trying to break black bricks or something, you know what I mean? Which is not good, you know what I mean? I feel like they should have gone more in on the combat angle, or maybe made Wario's jumping not as nerfed. But it's like even worse for Mario, because since he's the all-rounder, he's, you know, why would you want to play as him when you could play as Luigi instead? You know, besides being more faithful to the original. If you think that this is a game you should play as Mario in, just because that's how you're used to it or whatever. It's just, Mario doesn't like have any reason to play as him besides, you know, his power-ups that are required. So it's like, on one hand, you can play as whoever you want, so for the most part, so it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, it's like, they didn't really do a good job coming up with reasons to play as Wario on his own merits, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't really mind, because seeing as I'm not a huge fan of Wario either way, the good news there is that you don't have to play as him if you don't want to. Or rather, what I mean is, you could play as Luigi or Mario or Yoshi, and then grab a Wario cap to just solve whatever puzzle that needs him and just be done with it, if you want. That is an option that's on the table for you. So if you don't like swimming as Wario, if you don't find his combat abilities very useful, it's like no harm, no foul, in my opinion. But alright guys, so check this out. This is how slowly Wario swims. And we'll zoom in a little bit closer, but you can see that, look at how slow he is. It's like half the speed of Mario and Yoshi, and like a quarter the speed that Luigi can swim. So do not play water levels as Wario if you value your life. Alright, so we got a little sign in the wall here. Let's go read that.
It is decreed that one shall pound the pillars.
So let's go pound the pillars, everyone. We go ahead and pound this one, then we'll pound the other one, and voila! The moat of the castle drains. And we can step outside, and the moat is gone. And there's something over here that we can do. As you can see that there is a hidden area. We'll smash on through here, and once again, we have black bricks in Mario 64, which only Wairion, my wayward son, can break. And okay, so you might be wondering, well, what's even the point of this area now? Because you might remember in the original game, this was where we found the Vanish Cap in Super Mario 64 DS. I'm just gonna double check that everything's going fine. Oh yeah, the footage is fine. Hopefully, I'll be able to check in post, but it's just sometimes I get nervous about that kind of thing. But as you can see, even though we can only enter this area as Wario, we could still use caps to play as the other two characters. So what we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna grab this power flower and use Mario's P-balloon ability to cross this gap and get over to the other side. And you can see that there's a brand new area that was not in the original Mario 64 that has been added specifically for the DS version. So we're gonna go ahead and let that guy out, then hit the switch just to give ourselves that little bit of extra time, and we're gonna mash our fingers like hell, like our very lives depend on it. And I don't know, there's a part in Wario World that kind of reminds me of this section, or the other way around. I suppose Wario World came out first. Yeah, this is such a weird thought that this game came out like a year after Wario World. That's such a weird idea to me, but there's a part in Wario World where you go through like this vertical maze, kind of like this. And I don't know, I guess this little part reminds me of it. I've tried to do a playthrough of Wario World in this channel so many times, but things keep not working out right. Whether it's frame drops or whatever. And so I guess we'll have to figure that out some other time, but there's a second star down here, so we're gonna re-enter. Obviously, there's no Vanish Cap in this game because there's only one switch Or not a Nintendo Switch, rather, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's only one switch in this game, and we already pressed it. And the camera is not doing a good job keeping up with me right now, but it is kind of zoomed out a little weird. And I guess I did that. Yeah, you could press the X button to zoom the camera in and out and also go into first person, but yeah, so even though I missed all those red coins up there, thankfully we have the P-balloon to help us out. And now we have Marion, and then the camera is actually focusing on what I want to look at, so yeah, so once again, we got no choice but to mash like our very lives depend on it, and hopefully I can get up there before it pops. Or I'll take that. Ooh. I'm not having such a good time trying to get it over to these little slopes, and I don't know why, because I had no problem with it in my practice playthrough. But yeah, it is kind of a neat idea that they do in some of these side areas on Mario 64 DS, where they kind of play around with the caps. Where it's like, oh, you can only enter this particular level as this certain character, but the caps are there, so you can swap back whatever you want. So, I don't know, I thought that was kind of neat. Oh my fucking god, I died. And it sends you out here for some reason, and now we have to swim as Wario, which is something nobody wants to do. I guess we'll have to try again. Right, this time I'm gonna be more careful, and I'm gonna try to actually zoom in the camera so I can fucking see. Alright. Alright, so there's one down here. And yeah, and in the original, this was basically the only way you could get these red coins, was there was no P-balloon back in 1996, so the only way to get those red coins was to get them as you were coming down the first time. I wonder what it must have been like to have DKC3 come out the same year as Mario 64. It must have been like old news or whatever. I mean, of course, nowadays, you know, the problem with... Ooh, I managed to pull off a trick shot. Did you guys see that? Alright, did I get them all? Yes. Alright, so that's the last of the red coins on the slope. And of course, it evidently ground pounds are your friend, so don't be afraid to abuse those. I don't know, it just seems like whenever I play as Wario, I find myself using a cap to play as Mario instead, because it's just kind of like... Alright, I mean, I don't know. I appreciate having Wario here. I think it's kind of neat, I guess, because this is like the only time he's playable in a main series Mario game, to my recollection. He doesn't even really appear in any of the other ones, as far as I can remember. He's not in Galaxy, he's not in Super Mario 3D World, because people wanted to play as Toad instead of Wario, Nintendo. Or evidently. So now we have these little platforms. I recommend facing your camera straight ahead so that you can move around. You know, D-pad controls work well. And of course, you don't have to... you don't have to use the run button, so you can make these fine little movements, not have to worry about falling off. I will talk more about the controls in the next part, once we've finished with some of these other ones. Alright, so you can see that it's in the cage. So we swap over to Luigi real quick, grab the cap, and now we can go into the cage. And that little platform there is normally where the vanish cap switch would be. So now we have recovered the second star from the stage. And we are all done with the vanish cap stage, folks. That's all there is to it. So now I say we go back to the first Bowser level real quick. I'm pretty sure I got both the stars for the second Bowser level, so we won't have to go back there or replay that, rather. And I don't know, there's not really, like, a better time to go play these stars, so we might as well just knock them all out right now before we get to the next round of levels and whatnot. Yeah, but over here we got Bowser's Trap. We're gonna go back in, and there are a couple of stars to grab, and, you know, I think in the original game this did have a metal cap, so this is more loyal to the original to play it this way, so that we can go through this fucking fire. Actually, I already got the stars in this one. Never mind. I totally forgot. It's been like 3 weeks since I recorded the first session, folks. So you'll have to excuse. Let's go to Goomboss's level. That is a level where we do need to be able to play as Wairion, our wayward son. So we'll go ahead and head on down to the devil came down to Georgia. And we'll go ahead and grab those 2 stars real quick. And some of these are actually kind of interesting as well. So one of them we will need Mario to collect, so why don't we go grab that one first, and then we'll worry about Wario later. You know, as always, we have our little map in the bottom screen. So come on, guys, you gotta not be like that. You can see that we have this, so we can swap the screens at any time, folks. I hope I haven't had the bottom screen on this whole time, because that would suck. But, you know, thankfully, I don't know. Then you guys would have to stare at the bottom screen for quite a while, so I hope I didn't forget to do that. Problem is, I have to have my preview window for OBS turned off. Otherwise, I think I drop frames. I'm not really sure though, but I don't want to risk it. You know, I don't want to have it on the whole time and see whether I have both screens on, only to lose a bunch of frames in post. You know what I'm saying? So that's the logic behind that decision. But as you can see, let's kill these Goombas real quick so that they aren't in the way. You can see that there's another Switch Star. And this one we can only play as Mario because Mario's the only one who can wall jump. For some reason, it goes back to the whole issue of, well, if Luigi is better to play as than Mario by a near factual degree, how do we make people want to play as Mario? So, well, hold on. How come... What? Okay. I'm pretty sure that the 2 stars I got in the previous one, in the other Bowser levels, I'm sorry, the Switch Palaces, those kick you out, so how come these ones don't? It's just, I don't know, it doesn't make any fucking sense. There's gonna be a real annoyance coming up later on for one of the other levels we're gonna play. Anyways, we got this little thing to climb on, and we'll see more about climbing later, but it's not nearly as fun to play as in Sunshine, where they made it faster and stuff. Alright, so over there you can see that there is a black brick in Mario 64. We're gonna go break with Wairion, our wayward son, real quick. Come here, you. Alright, now we're gonna take the little platform back. Alright, so that's the one we needed Wario for specifically, but all the rest of the coins I'm pretty sure pretty much anyone can grab. And so we're gonna go ahead and grab this balloon again. I might have already gotten the blue coin up here, or I'm sorry, the red. I'm so used to saying blue coin, you'll have to excuse me. We're gonna go ahead and grab this red coin in the top of the tree. And once again, I do have to comment on the fact that Super Mario 64 DS looks really nice on a DS. I mean, it looks really pixelated and aliased and stuff on the upscaling, because that's just how I upscale things. I don't like blurry upscaling at all. It looks like crap, and it takes up more space too. So I actually could save quite a bit of space using this particular upscaling method. And of course, Ahbeef and Eric are laughing in the comments about how nobody cares about how the Dither Master upscales his footage, but I digress. We're gonna go ahead and kill this guy real quick and replenish our health. Let's see, I think that's 5. And once again, there are red bombs on this map who will tell you where to find the other red coins. So if you're worried about that, then, you know, I think there might be some in these. You know, I should probably check back over this way. Oh, I managed to pull off a trick shot there by complete accident. I've taken to using kicks as like a makeshift double jump. It's hard to explain. So here we have another Quan, so we'll go ahead and grab him real quick. And looks like there's another one down there. Oh, I ate that. That suicide Goomba just dang old knocked me off the fucking ledge. Anyways, I was heading up over to this one anyway, so that's 7. So the last one we need Luigi to get, so we'll have to go, and according to our map, the Luigi cap is by the big tree. I'll show off the map real quick. You can see that the Luigi cap's over there. By the way, I've had issues with showing the bottom screen, like something about how OBS encoded it. My editing software is not liking too much. So we'll go ahead and grab this Luigi guy right here. Oh, and look, I forgot to mention that Wario instantly pounds down logs, but that's pretty situational. It's not very helpful whatsoever. Be careful about killing the Goombas with the hats, by the way, because I have had it happen where they'll die and the cap will fall off the ledge and then you can't get it anymore. So just a word of caution for the folks at home. And now we're playing as the best character in this video game, that being Luigi on. You had Luigi on. I'm sure Eric's laughing at that, because apparently Eric is watching this playthrough. I'm surprised. He has commented a couple times, so unless if he just scrubbed through like he does for the playthroughs we actually record together, he's at least watched a little bit of this. I don't know. He likes Super Mario 64, so I'm not surprised, but yeah. Go ahead and grab that there. So this star, I thought, was a really creative use of the cap system. You need all 3 characters to get all of the red coins to get the star, and you have to, take advantage of Luigi's backflip and invisibility, of Mario's P-balloon ability and the wall jumping. So this is I think one of the highlights of the new levels in Mario 64 DS. But regardless, we have collected both the stars in the stage, so I will join you in the next episode when we start exploring the basement. So until then, I'm Exo, and I'll see you guys next time.